TJ Dillashaw, former UFC bantamweight champion. Great to see you, mate. Back in action. Fight week is upon us. It's been a while. Now that you're back at it, how does it feel to be back?
Feels good. Fight week's a little bit different now than I'm used to. Underneath the circumstances of COVID and everything going on, it's actually quite nice. It's pretty quiet. It seems like the workout. I mean, everything seems really easy. The UFC's got it really ironed out, and it's nice.
You're a businessman now. You're in the juice business. You seem to have used the time off pretty wisely. Would you say that you kind of made the most of the time off, and now like you kind of itching to get back? How's it been since we last saw you?
I definitely made the best of my time off. I mean, at first it was really a really tough situation. Going through double shoulder surgery, being suspended, it was a rough one. But my style is just to work and work hard, and so it was actually a true blessing. I would never choose to do it, and I would have changed if I could have. But it turned out to be a blessing. I have a 3.5-year-old son that I got to spend a lot of time with in the last 2 years. I feel like the first year of his life kind of went by too fast. Even it goes by fast no matter what. And it went by super fast because it was just title fight after title fight after title fight. I had 3 title fights. Well, 2, but one right before he was born as well too. So it was kind of from camp to camp, and it's hard to really be fully present, because when I'm absorbed into a fight camp, I'm fully in. I'm addicted to what I do. So that was the best part of it all, as well as starting business and knowing that I can be just fine outside the octagon, right? So when fighting's over, I'll be able to take care of my family, and I've got things lined up. So I definitely use my time wisely.
There was links of you maybe fighting Jose Aldo. People were kind of wondering, who's going to be the comeback fight. And in the end, Cory Sandhagen, given that he's ranked at number 2, it's a nice one. He's coming off 2 spectacular finishes. Was this the one you chose, what they chose? Has it kind of all come together? Is this the matchup that you wanted?
Yeah, I told him that I didn't want anything under top 5. Anyone in the top 5, I'll take the fight. Other than that, it didn't really make sense to me. I didn't want a tune-up fight. Ultimately, I wanted to go straight back to the belt. And if that wasn't the case, because of the debacle of Jan and Sterling, that I wanted someone in the top 5. And so when they offered me Sandhagen, I absolutely wanted it because he's the number 1 contender right now. So it kind of continues to cement my name in the bantamweight division and get right back to that title where I left off.
With him getting those 2 epic finishes, with you being a finish merchant yourself, is this kind of potentially fight of the year? Is this what you wanted, that potential for fireworks with somebody who's going to come marching forward?
Yeah, I don't know if it'll be. I wouldn't say Cory comes marching forward. That's the wrong kind of style for him, right? He's a lot of movement, a lot of flash. He does have 2 big finishes. I wouldn't say that his pressure is really. So I wouldn't call it like. Because I would say like a fight of the year is one of those ones where both of each other is going to stand in front of each other and slug it out, right? We're both very technical fighters, and it's going to get finished. And it's going to get finished by me, and it's going to be something that I don't think is going to be fight of the year. It's going to be me being dominant.
Do you think it's nice to be able to just now let your talent do the talking with everything that's happened in the last couple of years? Are you looking forward to just getting the win here and kind of trying to put a line under it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's a good way to put it. I mean, it's been refreshing not to have to talk so much crap, right? Because I mean, the Garbrandt fights were a lot of drama, so it's nice to be past that. And with Sandhagen, I got no bad blood with him because I train with the guy. He's a nice guy. I like him. I was like one of his biggest advocates to actually want to get him in the UFC. I knew he was better than he was before he actually knew it. So I was kind of pumping his name up when I was training there.
Do you listen to what your opponent says during fight week at all? Have you heard any of his interviews?
Not really. No, I don't really pay attention too much. I kind of stay focused in my own realm.
It was interesting. I mean, throughout the Garbrandt fights with the Ultimate Fighter and everything, and with Conor and Faber and all that, I think that brought a lot of eyeballs, and a lot of people kind of knew who you were and the whole snake in the grass thing. How interested are you with how that kind of turned out with Conor, and where do you think it kind of went wrong for him recently? Of course, everyone's been talking about it the last couple of weeks, and you kind of had his back in a way. You said you see him as the underdog now.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'd like to see him actually bounce back from this. Now's the time that I would actually rather root for him, when things are tough, right? That's how you know this is a crazy sport that we live, because of the highest highs and the lowest lows. And right now he's on a low, right? And that's the time that I want to root for him, because when he's on the highest high, to be honest, he's kind of a dick, you know? And so now I feel like maybe we'll see, because I know he's obsessed with wanting to be the best. You know, I know his personality. So I'm rooting for him to come back. I'm rooting for him to get back to his roots. Um, it was a real unfortunate way for him to go out and break his leg. Um, I think that Poirier looked great in that first round, was getting his number anyways. But Conor, you can never count him out. He's got great timing. So yeah, I'm rooting for him to come back.
When he said the snake in the grass thing, you went and turned that into a brand. I mean, you go on your website, you can get t-shirts with a snake on it. Is that what you need to do in this business when things are supposed to be going against you? Kind of flip it the other way and make it into a win?
Man, I mean, he was trying to be honest, he was trying to get underneath Uriah's skin being a coach. Yeah, it was probably a little bit of stab at me trying to say that I'm solely focusing on myself, which I didn't take that as an insult, because I am in an individualized sport. Yeah, we have teammates we train with and we help out. Like Juan Archuleta, I'll be in his corner forever and help him get to where he needs to be at. But I told him when I coach him, I was like, look, man, you need to be selfish. Like you need to do what you need to do what's best for you. What's going to get you to the top? What's going to get your family paid? What are you going to be able to live on? Like this isn't a team sport. I'm not going out there with five of the guys. There's four of the guys on the court. I'm going out there in the ring by myself. Yeah, sure, I got coaches, but it all relies on me. There's no if I win, I win because of myself. If I lose because of myself. Because I'm the CEO of TJ Dillashaw. I pick my coaches. I'm not drafted. I'm not put on a team. I go out and I pay for my coaches. I find the training I need. If I'm going against a certain opponent, I'll bring in training partners for that opponent. All those things, I do it all very selfishly, and you need to. I really believe that's the way you need to think in this sport.
You've been an athlete in this sport. You've been cutting weight since you were a little kid, but there's always that question of prize fighting versus the sport. And you look at the way Poirier went for the McGregor fight. He earned a hell of a lot of money doing that. Having already been the champion, is that something you consider in a way? Like if there was a huge fight for you that's going to earn you tens of millions of dollars versus the belt, is that something that you would think at maybe more now, having already tasted the championship?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even probably before the championship. I mean, of course, I'm always in this. I'm in whatever I get involved in. I'm involved to be the best in the world at it. But let's be honest, man. We're here to take care of ourselves for the long term, and those big money fights is where it'd be at if there's anything came of that sort to me. Yeah.
Do you think it's going to be Peter Yan for you after this, or Sterling? And who would you rather?
I believe it'll be Jan. Just watching that first fight and how it went down, I was impressed with his takedown defense against Sterling. But Sterling's stand up was obviously looked really bad as well too. I mean, not bad, but just nothing believable, nothing behind it that would get Jan worried about getting hit. So he was so focused on defense. So unless Sterling can really improve on his striking and actually put some power behind his strikes, I don't think he's got a chance.
Before he lost that fight, people were talking about Jan as having the look of being up there with one of the best ever. I mean, people have said the same about you. Do you think it's fair to put him on that level as having that potential of being a really elite bantamweight?
I don't. I mean, he hasn't beaten anyone to implement his name up there yet. He beat Jose Aldo, which was coming off a loss, and in the weight division, right? He hasn't beaten any of the toughest guys at the weight class. I mean, Sterling had better, more impressive wins than Jan. So no, I would say no.
You know how important it is in this business to make the most of your time. I think in the light on the microphone, can we expect an interesting post fight from you? Maybe a call out of the winner of Sterling Jan. Are you going to maximize that microphone time after you get your win on the weekend?
Yeah, I'll definitely maximize it. Maybe not how everyone thinks I will, but I'll definitely be maximizing my time on there. It'll be on ESPN. It'll be perfect.
And do you have a message for the people who kind of stick with you and your fans and the people who throw out support?
Yeah, I mean, the fans, my teammates, my coaches, everyone that kind of stuck by me through those 2 years and understood my bad decisions and me handling them the way that I did. You know, I appreciate it because it keeps me going, but also the people that don't, right? I'm going to be hated by a lot, which is to be expected and understandable also. But I just appreciate the fans of the sport either way. You know, that's what gets us to be able to do what we do. I mean, I think it's the fastest and the fastest growing and best sport in the world.
Yeah, we love it. Good to have you back,
Yeah.
TJ. Thanks a lot.
Appreciate it, man.